Everyone. Hello. So welcome to Dev Dives November session. And as usual, please wait with us 2 more minutes for latecomers to join. And then we will start the session. Meanwhile, you can tell us in the chat where you are joining us from. It's always nice to see people all over the world joining together in these sessions for over almost 2 years now with Dev Dives. And my colleague will start sharing a few links with you. So today we are here for Autopilot for Everyone and Clipboard AI session. So let's wait a bit more. So I think we're good to start, maybe. It's past 3, so let's go to the next part, which is the house rules, as usually, because these meetups are recording and they're important resource for everyone, and for us to manage to get a good event and good recording for everyone, we have a bit of house rules, few. So we want you to enjoy the next 60 minutes. Of course, as always, they will be packed with guidance, demos, and we will have live Q&A, 2 of them actually in this meetup. You will receive the recording, the useful links, and the deck through email, and you will also be able to find them tomorrow on the event link where you registered. So you will have 2 sources for the event recording and the PowerPoint presentation. It will be a PDF actually, but you will be able to receive it through email and the event link. You will receive some bonus content. You will get answers to your questions and challenges, and for this, we please ask you throughout the session at any time to use the chat box. We will be there to answer, and as well, the speaker, one of your mentors who is not speaking, will be assisting you in the chat till the live Q&A, when you will be able to unmute and ask your questions live. So we will have 2 Q&As today, one in the middle and one at the end of the second presentation. And of course, you are always encouraged to network and share your LinkedIn profiles in the chat. So for today, we have 2 of our colleagues as speakers, Alina Capota, Senior Manager of Technology Services in UiPath, and Cosmin Voicu, a Principal Product Manager in UiPath. Later, a bit in the session, we will also have a short poll regarding Clipboard AI. So when Cosmin will start his talk, you will get also the poll on Clipboard AI. And now I will switch it over to Alina.
Thank you, Christina. Hello, everyone. Happy to be here with you today. I will quickly share my screen and please let me know if you can see it.
Yes,
we can.
Great. Thank you so much. So to walk you through what we are going to discuss today, we have prepared a small agenda. We are going to focus on the first part for Autopilot for Everyone, and we are going to see an overview and also a demo. Then we are going to have a Q&A, and I really encourage you to bring your strongest questions because we are really interested to hear your feedback and also your maybe unclarities. Then we will deep dive into Clipboard AI. Cosmin will walk you through what Clipboard AI is, and he will do a demo as well. And we are going to have a Q&A section as well. Great. Now moving forward to Autopilot for Everyone. I just wanted to position Autopilot for Everyone in the context of our other autopilots. We have Autopilot for Developers who can help you with creating automations. So basically you provide a prompt and it will generate the automation that can solve that request. And we also have Autopilot for Testers that can generate test cases definitions that can later on be automated with Autopilot for Devs. So basically we are closing the loop there. And also Autopilot for Business Analysts who can help with the discovery part. Last but not least, we have the Autopilot for Everyone, which we are going to focus on today, and which is able to complete daily tasks using AI and automation. Autopilots can empower employees to work smarter, faster, more efficiently. And with Autopilot for Everyone, whether you're in marketing, finance, HR, or any other department, it has the potential to transform your daily operations and also increase your productivity. But before we dive in, I would like to share with you a striking statistic. I was surprised by it as well. So, according to studies, the average office worker spends around 28% of their work week managing emails. Like that's a lot, and 19% searching for information. So that's nearly half of their time. Now, imagine if we could just reclaim that time and redirect it towards innovation, creativity, strategic thinking, decision making, and all the areas that will be necessary for a human to act on. And that's the promise of Autopilot. And we've long believed in the promise of a robot for every person. And we had some innovations over the years, like Studio Web, which have lowered the barrier for the automation entry, but there's still more to do so that automation can be truly accessible for everyone. And we believe that Autopilot for Everyone will actually help us reach this goal because Autopilot for Everyone meets you where you do your work in your own context, whether we are talking here about Mac or Windows. It is also able to incorporate your organizational knowledge. So you can point Autopilot to a specific data source like Salesforce or any internal document, and it will be able to fetch that data for you. It can improve the automation discovery and creation. So your COE's existing automations can show up in the context. They can be easily triggered. Everyone will be able to use them. And also everything is nicely accessible in a chat experience powered by a generative AI. It has also the best-in-class UiPath specialized AI models like document understanding, and also Autopilot for Everyone includes Clipboard AI. And also all these functionalities with enterprise security and privacy in mind. And just to deep dive a bit into how we kind of like look at the general architecture because we are on a dev dive session. This is how we are interacting with Autopilot. So we as users, we are having like a prompt, whether we are talking about a normal chat like natural language processing or documents, images, whatever. Autopilot is going to understand our intent. It will gather the necessary information. It will perform any actions needed, and it will generate a response for us and also see what the next steps would be. Autopilot is hosted in Assistant and it has access to predefined automations, and you will later on see more details about them. And also it has access to context grounding. And of course to Clipboard AI to help you with your copy and pasting actions. Everything is pretty much hosted in our AI trust layer, so everything is secured. We use by default the Claude 3.5 Sonnet model, and also it has access to our specialized AI models regarding document understanding. Okay, moving forward, we have seen how these out-of-the-box automations fit in the overall architecture of Autopilot for Everyone. And by having them, Autopilot can communicate with the multiple applications that you are seeing on the screen. We are talking here about Outlook, G Suite, Salesforce, and so on. And you can also build your own. So whatever automation you would like to have it here, interactive with any system that might be also custom to your organization, that can be also added to the list. Okay, now let's deep dive into the demo. Okay. Autopilot for Everyone, as I mentioned, is hosted in Assistant and it looks something like this. You will be able to see here the starting prompts that can help you with your day. Here you can also customize the starting prompts. You can add whatever you feel like. For example, I have personas for product expert if I want to ask questions about any other UiPath products. And yeah, basically whatever you feel like can be can be customized. Okay, I will take this demo as a UI bank loan officer. Me working in a bank, I usually receive requests about loans. And for example, I have received today 2 requests, one regarding a normal loan and one also regarding Evelyn requesting 50 USD for 3 years and so on. So I would like to go ahead and start my day with Autopilot helping me solve all the queries that I have received. And I will say to Autopilot exactly that. Like I will say, get to the loan request that I received via email today and prioritize them by the amount. Now, Autopilot knows my intent and it's running behind the scenes the Get Outlook emails automation. The Get Outlook emails automation communicates with my Outlook through integration service connection, and it will fetch the emails that I have. You can see here more details regarding what is the query data that was sent to the automation. And as you can see here, it extracted information about all the loans, and then it also recommended another automation, the one that it's applying for the UI bank loan. But first of all, I would like to extract all the data from the email, and I would say to Autopilot to download the attachment from the higher priority email and extract the information for the loan approval. Okay. Now Autopilot is going to understand the fact that Evelyn's loan is a bigger one, so it will have the highest priority, and it will run Get Outlook email details that will fetch more details about the loan. And also, I'm expecting to have a download attachment automation being recommended. As you can see here, I can run this one. And this will download all the attachments that are associated to this email, and then it will be automatically analyzed so it can extract all the data that is being in the documents attached. It can also be PDFs or any sort of documents. Of course, I can also drag and drop other documents if I want to analyze them and so on. Okay. Now it's analyzing the image and it's able to extract all the information, as you can see here, from the driver license. And I will have it everything nicely here. Now I can go ahead and having all this data, I can just click apply for the UI bank loan. And now I'm expecting to launch the UI bank automation that will just apply for the loan. Great. Now it will also fetch the interest rate that was received after applying to the loan. And it will be displayed in Autopilot. As you can see, the interest rate is 4%. Now, normally as a loan agent, I would just go ahead and see if this loan is actually suited to the market. But instead, I will just ask Autopilot to do this for me, and I will just save a lot of time of investigating all this information into different sorts of data sources. Okay, and as you can see here, I'm able to also see a chart, and I can see that the loan is around 6%, which is good. And also Autopilot is able to extract this information about the market comparison and the fact that 4% is actually a good interest rate. Now I will just say to Autopilot to modify the document, the loan agreement contract with the data extracted from the ID. And that will just go ahead and recommend me an automation to do that. And I will just want to save this in a SharePoint. Okay. And I will just run this automation. Okay, now behind the scenes, this automation has a template that is currently now being changed to reflect the data that Evelyn has for the loan. It also opened on another screen, but basically it replaces all the information about the borrower and also the lender regarding this loan agreement. Okay, and this automation has been successful. Let's see. Indeed, a few seconds ago, this document was modified, and I am also able to preview it. And indeed, as we can see, we have Evelyn's name and the address, the amount that was requested, and the interest rate. Perfect. Basically, Autopilot did all the job for me, and I can just finish by saying that I want to send this loan agreement to Alina, which is going to be my email, using DocuSign, so that me on behalf of Evelyn or Evelyn can just sign this. And as you can see, Autopilot is able to infer all the data that is needed, and I will just click run here and it will go ahead and send the document. Of course, you can also add details to the automation, stating each step by step what it's doing. Okay, great. I'm expecting to receive this email any second now. And then I should be able to sign it and be good to go. Now, the true power of Autopilot is the fact that it uses one interface that helped me interact with so many systems that normally, it will take a lot of time and a lot of effort to actually perform all these steps. Another important thing that I wanted to lay out regarding Autopilot, you will be able to have all your chats here. You will be able to go ahead and maybe continue other chats from the past and so on. So you have all this functionality here. Another important thing is the fact that you can customize the data sources that you have access to. We are using context grounding in order to index documents, and you will be able to see them here as data sources, and also all the automations that perform data retrieval. And one important thing is that you can also disable the automations that you don't want to be recommended for you. Maybe they are not relevant to you, or some other thing is just not suitable. And also an important thing is the user notes. Usually I use this for performing some code review, and I say to Autopilot that whenever I want to perform a code review of a XAML, I'm expecting an answer like this, and then display the code review list and so on. So basically you can customize your Autopilot and the responses that you are gonna get. In the meantime, the document arrived as well. I can review it, I can sign it, and you will be able to see the fact that we have pretty much completed the whole flow of receiving and receiving the request of the loan and completing the whole request. Okay, great. I think that was it from my end. Now I have a question for you that Christina will quickly share. And also I am ready to take any questions.
Just a minute, so we can share screen with the QR code first for people to get into the quiz room.
Yeah. The thing is that we would be really interested to hear your thoughts regarding what use cases you see suited for Autopilot for everyone so that we can help you build them.
At the same time, I think Mihai can share the link and pass for those who don't want to join through QR code. If you can share it in the chat, Mihai. And it's very easy to join from mobile. If you scan the QR code, it will get you directly into the quiz room. And we can see maybe here how many people we have. If we're here in... Okay, so we have people sharing already. I will just take a minute to scan again the QR code. For those who have not joined, let's leave it maybe 10 more seconds on the screen.
Great. In the meantime, I can start taking questions from the chat, or if anyone wants to unmute and ask any question, I'm also open to that.
Let us know if you managed to get into the quiz room or if you're still trying to get into the quiz room, so we know when we can switch the screens.
I think we can switch at this point, Christina, and leave 5 more minutes to answer the questions because there's quite a lot in the chat.
So we can see the messages coming in now. The answers.
Perfect. Okay, I see a lot of like documents processing. I see extracting document, contact details from an image, invoice payments. Interesting, personal tutor for students. Okay. Ticket system management, this is also a very good use case. You will be able to see the fact that we have Jira integrations as well as ServiceNow. So whatever your ticketing system is, we are going to be able to integrate it with Autopilot. Okay, if that's okay, I can start taking some of the questions that were not answered. Okay. Get Outlook connection to your own local mailbox, or can you tell Autopilot to connect to a shared mailbox? The thing is that when you define your integration service connection, just make sure you select whatever you would like to reference, because that will also be used at the time of the execution of the automation. And if you don't want to use the integration service, you can also use interop. Okay. Apart from extracting all the details, whether we can or able to trigger any automation workflows or create any workflows and trigger that automatically via Autopilot. So workflows are triggered, automations are triggered via Autopilot through natural language. Currently, there is no way of maybe setting a schedule or anything like this, or maybe trigger by an event, but we are looking into it. And basically, you should be able to tell Autopilot, like, whenever I receive an email, send me a Slack notification. That would be the expected behavior that we are hoping to also implement in the future. Is it using a predefined model by UiPath? That's in view. So we are using generative AI models. We are using the Claude 3.5 Sonnet. And also we are using specialized models for document processing, our own document understanding model, yes. Does it use any AI units? Any calculator that we can use? I understand as of now it's available to use for free. Indeed, it's available and it's free to get started with. We are gonna charge the overconsumption of the limits that are explained in the licensing documentation. I can share that with you. Okay. This looks, based on the prompts, the process has been completed, but how set this as a rule that runs its own like unattended automation spots? You can also trigger unattended automations from Autopilot as well. Okay, another question about AI units. The chats are retained for how many days, weeks, and months? This is fully customizable. You have this option in the AI Trust Layer admin. Where is all the information of the chat document extracted, stored? So this information is stored in the storage bucket, in the system storage bucket of Orchestrator. It's fully secured. You have your own storage bucket basically as a user, so no one has access to that. And in this way, we are able to kind of like persist data. Can you provide some inputs regarding pricing? I can share a link with you if that's fine. You will have all the information there regarding licensing and pricing. Regarding licensing, what I can tell you is that you will have to have attended license, citizen developer license, automation developer, or automation express if you want to access it. Okay, and if anyone wants to ask any questions live, I think we can take one or two before Cosmin can start. Okay, then I guess Cosmin, do you want to take over?
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
So first of all, let me share my screen. I'm Cosmin, and today we will talk about Clipboard AI. But before we move further, I have a quick poll to run. We would like to know how much you already know about Clipboard AI, so we can tweak the presentation to not cover too much familiar ground. So Christina, if you can run that poll, that would be great.
Yes, I will run it. Actually, we have two questions in it now. I added a question about expectations. So it should be visible on everyone's screens now, the poll. And let us know whether you can access it and answer. I see you guys are already answering, so it seems it works. And we will leave it a bit on screen, and you can also take some time. We can minimize it. We'll leave it open for a bit longer while, so you can answer the first question as well till the end of session maybe, or for another 10 minutes. You can minimize the window, the pop-up anytime you would like if it's uncomfortable. But let's see some insights from everyone first, because this is interesting to us all.
Okay, sounds good. How many attendees are here? 134, and we have 50 answered, so that's about 30-something%. Okay, it looks like the numbers for the how much you know about Clipboard AI already are starting to stabilize. It looks like most people are either know nothing about it or they know a bit, like they've seen a video. So that's pretty good. In today's session, I will focus a bit on the high level, and I will try to touch up on how it works, since I know this crowd is a bit more technical. And just like Alina, I will have a 10-minute Q&A at the end. So to get things started, I would like to explain a bit what Clipboard AI is. In a short sentence, it's like this. It's this Time Magazine reporter said it's like a smarter, speedier copy-paste. Not very descriptive, but pretty accurate. In more words, Clipboard AI can help you transfer data between documents, spreadsheets, and applications. Basically, that means you can copy documents and paste them in bulk in either applications or spreadsheets and so on. And you can do that in pretty much any combination, and I'll get a bit deeper into that later. How that works is that even from this example right here, you can see that you can copy, in this case, it's a passport, but you can think of it like a document because that works the same way. When you paste it into a destination, in this example, an airline check-in, Clipboard AI understands what data needs to be extracted from the source documents, extracts that data, and pastes it in the appropriate location. More specifically, it allows you to copy and paste between these types of documents and into these destinations. Basically, you can copy data from web and desktop forms. Most applications from Salesforce, Jira, and everything provide user interaction through web forms. So you can copy data from web forms and paste it in web forms as well. Excel is a very industry-wide application, and you can, again, copy data from Excel and paste them into Excel, and as well as semi-structured and unstructured documents, and it's a very wide range for what you can throw at it. And from these types of documents, you can paste data into, as I said, forms, Excel, PDF forms, Word documents and Word tables, PowerPoint documents, and pretty soon we will have support for PowerPoint templates, so you can fill out a PowerPoint template in one go. You can write emails, paste data into Notepad, and a lot more. How it works, and maybe I can get that more in depth about all this towards the end, is that we use a mix of technologies, quite a wide array of technologies, starting from computer vision, document understanding, and generative AI, in order to understand your documents, your source document, and understand the destination where you're trying to paste. And based on these, we try to match the data from the source and paste it in the destination. So that's the short story of how it works. Let's see how that looks like in practice. So the first thing is you need to know is how do you actually access Clipboard AI? There are a number of ways. One of them is through Assistant and Autopilot. And I will actually show you both options. I have this window here that shows you the Autopilot route. Basically, you go to this second tab called Dashboard. And if you use this single column layout, you have to basically collapse this this folder called Automations, and you will see it here. And if you use this two-column layout, you will see it here automatically. And this is for the enterprise version that comes bundled with Autopilot. But there is also, oh, I think I need to share differently. Let me stop that for a second and share this window. We also have a community version that is available for free. You can download it from the internet and start using it immediately. That works standalone. Once you install it, you get a desktop shortcut that looks like this. And when you start it, you have this toolbar, or what we call ribbon. And this gives you all the functionality that you need to copy and paste. So let's quickly look at a few examples. Let's start with something easy. The passport example that you saw even in that Time magazine article. Let's say that you have to fill out an airline check-in. This is a minimal version, but you get the point. Instead of copying and pasting all this manually, which can be time-consuming, you can just go to the source document, hit this copy window button, or alternatively just copy a region, but most of the time copying the whole window is good enough. You copy this, it's copying, then you go to the destination, you hover over the paste button, it shows you this green highlight to confirm that this is where you're pasting, and you hit paste. And basically this is analyzing both the source and the destination right now, and trying to extract the data from this passport and paste it in the destination. And you can see it working here. And as you can see, there are a couple of mistakes because the source document basically has the date in a pretty weird format, basically in multiple languages. And after paste, you have this ribbon where you can give some feedback or even fix things if they didn't work out correctly. And this is what we call the mapper. This is the window that basically is a preview of what data will be pasted and what it will look like. And when you open it, you will see basically these hills, these fields that come from the destination. If the destination has a first name, last name, gender, and date of birth, you will see all this here and the associated data that will be pasted in each one. And in this case, you can see that the date was, although correctly extracted, it's not in the format that's desired for by this destination. And in this mapper, you can apply some transformations to all of these. So let's say that for this field, you can say, take the date and convert it to what? What does this field need? It needs DD, Y. And it automatically converted this weird date into a format that is appropriate for the destination. So you can basically apply transformations in natural language. These transformations are powered by large language models, so feel free to express yourself however you see fit. So yes, once you do that, you can do the same for this one, but in the interest of time, I will just skip it for now. You can just paste the data again, and basically it will correct the field. And this one right now is in the correct form. And this works for other types of documents, any types of documents. Let's say that I have maybe an invoice. This one is a PDF invoice. It has a single page, but it can have multiple pages. It works the same way. You basically open Clipboard AI, copy this. Oh, sorry, I copied the wrong thing. Go here and copy this. And you can enter it into let's say an ERP service, and just hover over paste and go for it, and just like before, it will paste data. Okay, so basically if you do that, if you need to copy data from document into Excel or web forms or applications, this can save quite a bit of time. Now let's take a look at an example that can save even more time. Let's say that you have this supplier internal application and you have a bunch of new suppliers that you need to add. In case you have this data in Excel, you can, let's say that this is an Excel file with the data that you want to enter. You can just select the data in Excel that you want to copy, go to Clipboard AI, copy this. As you can see, it highlights just the fields that you've selected. Basically, you can specify exactly what you want to select, and then go to the destination and hit paste. And basically, this table has a column for each field. For example, for internal name, it has this name column. And how it works is it enters each row one by one. It stops after a single row, giving you an option to correct any mistakes. You can, if this is not Germany for any reason, or this is not the correct address, or like in the previous example, what the website expects is not exactly what was entered. You can correct it here, hit save, and be on your way. The cool part about it is that once you do that and hit new supplier, then you have this option where you just paste the second row. And basically, just like that, in under a minute, you can fill out an entire table. You just hit save, hit new supplier again, and paste the next row, and so on. We've had a lot of requests for automatically doing that, basically not having to save and click new supplier and so on. But we feel it's safer to have the user review what was happening before doing any destructive changes to a company's environment. But rest assured, we're also looking into that as well. Maybe we will enable it somehow. Okay. Next, I want to show you a quick example about the fact that this extraction that you've seen is much smarter than you would expect. It's not about matching things. It can extract and understand data pretty much like a human would, using, of course, large language models. So let's say you work in an insurance company and you get a bunch of contracts like this. All of them look different, have different content and so on, but more or less they contain the same type of data. And in your job, you need to extract the seller, buyer, VIN, basically a bunch of data points so that you can evaluate if you give this person an insurance, what's the premium and whatever. And it works the same way. You go on in the source document into Clipboard AI, copy this document, right? Then in Excel, define where you want to paste, because it matters. If you paste here or here, it's basically different than if you paste here. And if you paste here, it understands that this is where you want to paste. The first time you do a scenario, basically in a scenario in this case is copying a contract in this specific table. This mapper window automatically opens to get a confirmation from you that what will be pasted is correct. And you can review here that the seller is Jon Snow and Johnny Depp, and this is the correct VIN. Yes, this is the correct VIN, and so on. Couple of things that are not exactly how you would want them is the purchase price and warranty. The purchase price is correct. Basically, this is it. It correctly extracted it. But in this Excel, you want the purchase price to actually be a strict number, so you can apply formulas, stuff like that. So what you can do is open this dropdown and say in natural language what you would like to extract from this document. So in this case, you can say purchase price as a number. Is that correct? No, really, number. And as you type, you will see here that it's analyzing this document and it gives you the correct answer. In this case, 100,000. So just through natural language, you can configure exactly how you want the extraction to be performed. Again, to this, you can apply transformation just like you've done before. And those transformations are not limited to dates. Basically, you have here a few examples, but through natural language, you can use whatever you want. We'll use this example of USD to Euro, but as you see, this is again natural language. You can type whatever you want. And once you apply a transformation, you get the correct currency. And this is the same for this one. Basically, for warranty, because this is what the column header said, it gives you a correct response. It identifies the paragraph in the document that tells you about the warranty, but it doesn't really know that you want a yes or no answer. This is something that only you know in your head, and the system cannot automatically guess that. So it's the same as before. You say warranty as yes or no. And basically it gives you a short answer, no. So once you do that, everything else seems correct. You paste the data, and here it is. The cool part is that Clipboard AI remembers everything. Basically, the next time you get a contract, this is a completely different format, different contract, different data. When you paste in this table, it understands that you're in the same scenario. You're doing the same thing. So you go here, you go to Clipboard AI, you copy this. And when you paste here, it doesn't open the preview anymore because it understands that you've done that before, and it automatically applies all the changes and the transformations that you've seen before. It gives you the number, the purchase price exactly as a number, and applies the conversion and the warranty under yes or no. So yeah, it remembers pretty much everything automatically. You don't have to save anything or anything of the sort. Right, so that's it for a short demo. It looks like we are out of time. Let's take a few questions. Before I get a chance to read the question, does anyone want to unmute and ask a live question?
Yeah.
Anything about Clipboard AI?
Yeah. You are stating like various invoices, we can extract the data without any ML model training.
Yes.
Right. So it's not required any DU scales or something for our developers, so we can use it confidently.
No, basically it uses a dedicated extraction engine that is powered by various large language models.
Mm-hmm.
But there is an option to, if you feel like that the current Clipboard AI extraction doesn't work exactly as you want it, and you have a custom model inside your company that works better, you do have the option to add a custom model and use that instead of the standard one.
Great. And when you are using Gen AI models, does it support enterprises intranet services instead of connecting to internet?
That answer would be no, but what do you mean? You have an intranet large language model deployed?
That means in their LAN models. And
yeah, so do they have a large language model deployed in their intranet?
No.
Then what do you mean?
So customer must be ready with LLMs, right?
Yes, and there are not very many LLMs that can be deployed internally.
Okay. Thank you.
But yes, the short answer is not really. We're looking into that. But as I said, the language models that can be deployed by a company are not the same quality, the same capabilities as the one that are available on cloud.
Right. That is the challenge nowadays for enterprises.
Yeah. However, we do use large language models that are hosted in Azure, and we have contractual agreements to not use this data in any way, not share data with anybody. So it's pretty safe.
Great. Thank you.
No problem. Anybody else, or should we go to the written questions?
Yes,
Hi,
I
Tom.
have a question.
Yeah, go.
Okay, the question is like in the Excel sheet when we have a master data, but then the destination application spreads across multiple forms, right? I mean, like it can be a navigation. So for example, if you take the customer information, the first name, date of birth, all that information, and the next form goes into the address, right? So in my one master Excel sheet, if I have all that information, how do I do that navigation as part of this Clipboard AI?
The short answer is for now, it doesn't do it. But let's say that you have, actually, let me share again so I can exemplify what I mean. Let's say you have this this very large table like this that has, and this data has to go in multiple pages. Theoretically, you could copy this whole table, paste it in the first instance of the form, all of them, and then go to the next page and paste the rest of them. But that is only if that that destination allows you to sort of save data without submitting the whole form. If it doesn't support it, it doesn't really work. But we are looking into doing that. We're working basically on a system that allows you to navigate forms. However, it does support more common dynamic forms. I've seen this a bit more than forms that are actual multi-page. There are forms where as you type data into them, they show up more fields. Clipboard AI supports that. So basically, if more fields appear or the form changes structure as it's typing data, it analyzes the page again and it can work with that.
Okay, so what you're saying is that whatever we copy from Excel sheet should go only into that one web form or one application. That's it, like one screen.
Yes, for now, yes, but in future versions, we will most likely support that as well.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Anybody else?
Yeah, so I have a question. So let's say when you're copying the data, is it possible to copy and paste, especially paste on Citrix applications?
It works, pasting data works using UI automation. So if the Citrix server has that remote plugin enabled, then that works, yes.
So it will be able to detect the objects?
Yes, yes. But only if that remote runtime plugin is installed and enabled.
Right.
Basically, just like UI automation.
Okay. Thanks.
No problem. Anybody else?
Like I do have a question in this, like whenever we copy any kind of data from a source, like whether we can able to analyze on any sentiment of that respective data.
Yes, I've shown you in that example how instead of warranty, you can type, does this have warranty, yes or no? Technically, you can put absolutely any question there, any question that the large language model should be able to answer. That includes sentiment analysis, aggregating data, summarizing things. So yeah.
So based on the sentiment, like I need to organize those data, like whether I can achieve that.
Sorry, I don't know.
Like for example, if I'm having a kind of words mentioning a kind of sentiments and all, so if at all like this kind of words will group under this category and this will group under that category, kind of organization work, like I can do that.
Yes, you can basically write that in the query. So you can say, please analyze this, the sentiment of this text, and output good, bad, neutral, for example, but whatever you would like to put there. And it will output just those things as you've instructed it.
Okay. And like, is there any a session for like asking questions on Autopilot as well? Because I do have a question on that.
Sorry, I'm not sure I get it. Can you repeat, please?
This question is regarding Autopilot. The thing is like,
yeah, if it's for Autopilot, if let's see if we still have Alina here.
Yeah, hi, I'm here.
Yeah,
shoot then.
The thing is like, see, during the requirement call, like we do have kind of a transcript of that requirement meeting and all, right? So if I can see that requirement meeting transcript to the Autopilot, like whether I can able to create any kind of workflows based on that, because we completely discuss on the automation part in that requirement, right? So if at all, like we can feed that so that we can able to get a workflow which is done. Like this is what like I just want to know.
So you have a transcript, right?
Yeah.
After the meeting. And you would like to get like the main ideas, the main steps moving forward. Yeah, for sure you can use Autopilot to do that. You can just drag and drop the transcript, or you can create an automation to automatically extract the transcript for you, and Autopilot will be able to summarize that and extract all the details.
Okay, summarization is fine. Like whether I can able to create a workflow and I can trigger that workflow.
In Autopilot for dev, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay, we are almost out of time, so I will take the remaining text questions pretty quickly. The first one is if it can extract particularly data like contract details from the whole document. There are multiple questions that relate to the multiple pages of a document. I guess this is the same question. The short answer is yes, it can. By default, when you copy a multi-page document, the default is 3 pages. But you can change that to any number you like on the fly. Basically, when you copy a multi-page document, it shows you the fact that only 3 pages were copied. You can click that and modify it as you wish. How well does it work with scanned documents? Obviously, it's not as well as fully digital documents, but it does work with scanned documents as well. For the digitization of documents, we use document understanding OCR, which works pretty well for scanned documents. For handwritten stuff, this document understanding doesn't work very well, but we have another extractor called tables and named values, and that does work very well with handwritten text. Can we provide source and destination path instead of selecting them manually? No. You will be pretty shortly able to drag and drop files into that toolbar, so you don't have to open the document as well. But opening the document has its advantages, meaning it takes into account the context. So if you're on page 70 in a 100-page document, it will copy that page or from that page because we think that's relevant. There's a question about Clipboard AI doesn't show up in Orchestrator. It shouldn't show up in Orchestrator. It shows up in Autopilot, the second tab of Autopilot. Or, of course, you can get the standalone version and install it that way. Can it extract a number from an Excel spreadsheet, use it to look up data on a website, and then copy the data from the website? No, that is more for the Autopilot chat experience, although that cannot yet do that. But we do have plans for supporting this type of features. How AI features available are different from other available AI models in a number of ways. Basically, we're using obviously custom prompts, and we're using what it's called a mixture of experts. Basically, there are multiple models that all identify and try to extract data from the document in parallel, and then based on all the responses, they give the best answer. And last question, can you share the difference in personas meant for Clipboard AI and DU? Yes. The Clipboard AI is meant for business users operating documents in an attended format, in attended manner. DU is pretty much an unattended system. Although technically it could be used to build attended scenarios, from our experience, DU is mostly used in unattended. And there's a question if you can have my email because you have a use case to discuss. Yes, my email is cosmin@uipath.com. Feel free to write any interesting use cases. And I think that concludes this session. Thank you.
Okay.
Christina Mihai, do you want to? Yeah.
Yeah, wait a bit. So we closed the Q&A, but we still have some links to share with you. I think my colleague Mihai might have already shared them in the chat. So you will find here the LinkedIn profiles for Alina and Cosmin. If you want to reach out to them, send them a message, and of course connect with them. And you will also find the link to the series Dev Dives 2024. We already have the December session published, so make sure you enter on this link and save your seat for the December Dev Dives, which is now public. And you have the date and the links to the sessions here as well, directly for the December sessions.
One final last question, like, can I ask that?
Yes, yes.
From my point of view, yes, sure.
So, like, whether we are using any kind of specific model in the backend, like for the Clipboard AI, or any kind of models like we are using it, like I'm asking.
If you are using any specific model,
Yeah.
yes. Let me think if I can disclose that. But yes, I think that's actually public information. Yes, we're using a mixture of experts, as I said. They are the universal extractor, because we have multiple extractors. I didn't get a chance to touch on all of the capabilities. Universal extractor is using a mix of GPT-4o and Claude Sonnet. And GPT 3.5 with different prompts, different methods, as I said, a mixture of experts. But we also have available through the UI, you can switch from a universal extractor to the DU models and Amazon Text Wrap.
Great. Like the reason of asking this question is like if we want to build any custom model to a customer, so that regarding with the respect of security aspect, like how much whether we have feasibility to do that. If so, like I need to build my custom model outside and just I need to integrate with UiPath to bring it. Is this the way? Or else whether we have the feasibility to build a
Yes.
custom model inside UiPath itself?
Yes. Yes, you can add custom models that you've built yourself in settings, and they will be available. In the interface, and you can use them instead of our models.
Okay. Whether like how that will be getting cost, like license will be acquired like based on that?
Yes. When using through Autopilot, one paste action costs one AI action. In the community version, everything is free.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for that. Like let me check back and get you.
You're welcome.
Thank you all for participating with us today, and see you next time in December for our next edition of Dev Dives. Thank you to Alina and Cosmin for the presentation. And yeah, hope everyone enjoyed. And remember, you will have the recording and the presentation tomorrow on the event link. And as well, you can watch out in your mailbox for the wrap-up event link with the recording. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you.